If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. I put my money in a strong position. They try to tell me I can't win, it's just a stupid superstition. Cause when I focus, you will notice that I'm winning. We demolish every bookie, there ain't no competition. Now listen, I would never give you shitty picks and do you wrong. Come and join the Discord, tell these bets and hit the bone. Cooking up a parlay super unders and a song. We be really winning, this ain't just to make another song. So if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we coming in and we taking all the money.
Just cash.
They can't do nothing to stop us.
Just cash.
Hey, fuck these bookies, man.
Just cash.
They wanna limit me cause I win. Label me the enemy cause all I do is win. Just give us a try, this is where it all begins. I'm not gonna lie, all I know how to do is just win. If you love making money and wanna win,
Just
they wanna
cash.
limit me cause I win.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash. Just cash.
Just cash.
love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. Love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash.
Hey, hold up. Fuck, I lost too much money on that shit.
Just cash.
We are live. Hello, Biggie. How is it going, sir? How is it going, sir?
Yo, what's going on, everyone? It is going pretty well. We are back at it. It is the most taco of Tuesdays, and it is just cash. What's good, fam? What's up, underrated?
Hi, E. Oh, just chilling, man. Just chilling. Same old, you know? Just talking about shooting the shit, as you might say, lighting this joint. Shooting the shit, lighting this joint, you know? Can't be mad about it. You win some, you lose some. We're here to win more than lose, and we're going to continue that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so yesterday we only had 3 plays. One of them ended up being a DMP. He was a super late last-minute scratch, which was kind of surprising. But then we went 1-1 on the plays. Big RJ Davis came through for us. I think he dropped a 20-plus game. Real easy cover after that second half performance. And then came up just a little bit short with Danny Wolf. Unfortunate, are broken by a bucket in the first half, and then some dumb foul trouble in the second half. But it is what it is. You know, that's why we kept it light yesterday. Today, I think we're going to have a few additional plays, definitely before lock. But at least right now, we're trying to keep it real high and tight again. So we got 3 plays for you guys, and we're going to talk about them here in just a second. But before we do that, if you guys do us a huge favor while everyone is trickling in, make sure and hit that like button, help us get in the algorithm, and make sure you are also subscribed to the channel and joined in the Discord down below. If you're not a member there already, we're still running 7-day free trials, so make sure you guys hop in and check it out.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
And there's a big youngin' sighting, too, right here. I'm seeing.
Well, let's go. And we got a day out.
Yeah, June 18. What's today? February 25th. Damn. This dude got more on for his cell phone, he said yesterday.
I hate to hear it, man.
Hey, but June 18th, C-Dot says, youngins free, let's fucking go. Can't hold a real ninja down. Hit the like and sub to the Discord, boys. We getting money today. C-Dot, I really do like your confidence and your positivity, sir. I must say, it is necessary. It is needed. And we fucking love you, bro. And guess what? The best part about it is we are going to win today, and we are going to win tomorrow. Let's start it off, E.
Yes, sir. And we've already had a pretty good, yesterday definitely could have been better with college, but the soccer and tennis guys, shout out to y'all in the Discord. Really been chopping it up and killing it there lately. Shout out Big DZ especially, our soccer goat. So we've had a nice little variety of stuff, and today with it being a taco pair kind of day, nice mix of different options to choose from. But let's kick it off here with college stuff. We're going to talk about Kylan Boswell and a play that you were particularly interested in. I know it looks like a really appealing line, but 3.5 assists for the under. Now, you had brought up the fact that he's not closing the games anymore, right? He's been kind of losing out on minutes.
Losing out on a few minutes, playing way, just not having the ball in his hand as much. Just like when Casper was injured, he had the ball more, and it looks like he had more assists earlier in the season, but bookies are averaging all that together when it's lately, you can see 0, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 0. He's not doing shit with the ball. So again, today is a little scary because it is Iowa, so that is the reason why his line is up to 3.5. But I think they pushed it up a little too high, so I don't mind going under and taking that chance. Feel pretty good about it. I put Marquette money line with it, but you can do whatever you wish. And, roll with that.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think it's a really solid call because, as you mentioned, not only between Casp and their center as well, he spent some time out. But now that everyone's back and they're in the full swing of things, and even Trey White, he was out for a little bit in the mix too. So you could see elevated minutes were also during this time, so that makes a bit more sense. But over the last month now, and especially, really over the last 6 games almost in a row, or 6 out of the last 7 games, he's not eclipsed 30 minutes. So it's something that seems like it's going to continue so far for him. And another telling thing is if he's not closing games out, which I know the last 2 games may be a bit muddy. They got spanked by Duke, and they ended up losing to Wisconsin by 20 as well. So maybe there's a little bit more context in that. But they have had a lot more closer games, beyond that. And some of these were really close. And he's just, like you mentioned, he's not facilitating nearly as much, and his usage rating overall is really just coming from his field goal volume, but even that has taken a real sustainable hit. So even though he is kind of still playing a reasonable amount of minutes, they're just not going to him at all. And for somebody who's traditionally not really setting the offense, it's just something that hasn't really gone hand in hand. And I bet you if we go back and look at a lot of these games as well, he's getting a lot of steals off a broken play, or he's getting a lot of assists off of a broken play. So if you look here, like he had 2 steals, I'm almost sure one of those is coming from an assist or leading to an assist here, and then 4-to-1 ratio, 1-to-1, 1-to-1, 3-to-2. So a lot of these, and especially the spike games here too, you can see that's a direct correlation. He had 5 steals that game, 6 assists, 3 steals, 6 assists. So albeit maybe he's good for 3 assists because that is his just in general season average, he's really struggled with this over the last month. And look at the last 10 games here, and he's not even coming close to that. Just this one game and one other game where they were just kind of able to run away with it. So I don't mind it. I think 3.5 is a little too high. He's not at the point of being 2.5 yet, but next slate, I guarantee you, if he doesn't get it for this one, he'll be at 2.5.
Oh, for sure. They won't be playing Iowa. So
yeah.
I'll take
the Iowa thing for sure is kind of pushing, I think, their props into the next point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It is Iowa, but they are pushing him up too high just for that reason. So I'll take my chances. That's why I like it. And like you said, that was cool how you looked at the steals compared to the assists earlier in the season. I just feel like this dude's, he's not going to have the ball in his hand to create the offense. He's gonna be over on the corner, and he might get lucky with his Klay Thompson type assists, He'll throw it over to old Casper, he'll hit a 3, whatever, those type of assists. He'll quick pass, he'll get the assist, but he needs 4 of those. So I'm with it.
Yeah, man. And just it kind of feels like, he's a role player on the team. You're not really doing a whole heck of a lot of anything. So, and then we can also wheel the case of, if they come in and handle business at home, then this game could totally just run away with and starters play reduced minutes.
For real. Look at Ian. Ian over at the casino, he said, my boy says take Duke total points over 87.5. Duke over 87.5 points. That's a lot of fucking points. He said, what do y'all think? Duke over 87.5. That's not their regular total, is it? That sounds like an alt.
It's, let's see.
That's a definite. It gotta be, right? Oh, I guess Miami's that bad.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's pretty bad, no doubt. And they have a star player injury news right now that's pending.
87.5? Oh, I guess it is. Okay.
That's pretty damn high. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, have fun with that. It could happen, but I wouldn't want to bet on that. That's so many buckets going down for a college game that Duke doesn't even care. They're gonna win by 30 and slow down and not care. Like, I wouldn't bet that.
They've hit that 8 out of 27 games this season.
It's all I know is this joint's amazing and it's sunny outside today, so it doesn't matter what happens. Everything's great. I wouldn't bet that though. Fuck that, Ian. Tell your boy hell no.
Yeah, they've only gone 8 out of 27 and 2 out of 10 games on the road.
Fuck that. Nope. Pass.
Yeah, the problem with them is like they definitely get lazy and play down to their competition. So sometimes the road games are a little bit more competitive than they should be. But yeah, man, I don't know about that. That's super high.
Yeah, that's way too high for Duke.
Pass.
Why did he even say that, Ian? Why would he use like my number one play of the day is Duke's team total over 87.5? That's crazy. Watch it happen. Watch him get 100. But that's betting.
I mean, hey.
Yeah. Hey, doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, as long as you're right more than you're wrong in the long run. One play doesn't fucking do shit. Q Donkey says Hubbard, PA. Q Donkey's here, man. I love him. Always coming with the plays, man. What do you think about Hubbard? I know you're talking about him before.
Yeah, so I'm honestly I'm not sure how to feel about Hubbard today for a couple reasons. One, all right, let me show you this. Let's start off.
Let me read what he
first.
told you real quick, just so you know. He says, actually, the road splits aren't the greatest. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Let's start here. So this is my biggest conflicting thing with him. So there's two major things here. One, it's Alabama, and we know they're giving up a ton of points. So that's something I can't ignore, and it is a for sure thing. I mean, he absolutely torched Alabama the first time they played. So I get it. He had one of his, probably he's going to be a season high performance. I mean, 38 real points. I think he had 22 field goal attempts, like just something totally outlandish. But yes, if you look at his road splits, and bear in mind, this is a rematch game, so these games get kind of weird too. But yeah, this guy's road splits are so incredibly bad. I mean, this will be the first game this season on the road that he gets this line. So he has not cleared this 20.5 points, even 19.5 points for that matter. It is Alabama, so I get it. But this is a dude who suffered severe home road splits, and he's only averaging 14.5 points. So, I mean, we're missing 5 straight up points from that. I think the assists look a little bit better on the road. Yeah, the assists look a lot bit better on the road. So, maybe that can carry a lot of weight for that. But his scoring upside, other than it just being Alabama, I do worry about that a little bit. This is giving me some pause for the cause.
There's a lot of red bars there, buddy. A lot of red bars you got there.
Yeah, it would be the first game of the season that he does this. So if he gets there, great. 10% out of 90% miss rate, that's good for him. But I'm leaning towards the under on him personally. But it's scary in either direction because these are two huge different red flags.
Okay. So we pass. Okay. Well, thank you for the question and the comment there, Q Donkey. If you got anything else, throw it up there. If anyone has any plays that you're liking, throw them up there so we can look through them. We only got a few plays to look through today, so we have some time. And there's only 10 likes, guys. There's only 10 likes. I don't know about today. You guys are feeling a little bit shady today, guys. Come on, guys.
No, we've had some really good Tuesdays, so we're gonna get the bounce back today. I'm feeling a 3 to 5-0, depending on what else we drop. But these 3 plays felt really strong about, and let's talk about the second one here. Big Joey B And somebody who, honestly, I'm just in awe that they haven't adjusted this prop yet. This dude has been in 1.5 turnovers all season, and I bring him up every single slate. And this last game was surprisingly, it was a miss for him, but they did end up kind of blowing him out and running away with the game. So he was pretty fortunate to not get there, but the fact that they left him at 1.5 is pretty crazy. I mean, you can see 81% on the season. This guy has a created bonehead turnover every single game, basically, and guaranteed almost on the road every single game. He's had at least one turnover. So always a self-caused turnover. We're just looking for one. Richmond is a pretty solid team, and even though VCU beat the brakes off of them the first time, it was on the road. And we know with this team, we talk about Big Dusan and his home road split narrative and how atrocious that is. Of course, Dusan absolutely crapped the bed, and they ended up beating him by like 40 or something ridiculous. But we have a rematch game now in Richmond, which I think is going to keep the game a lot closer. And even if, by standards, if it's still within 20 points, he plays the same amount of minutes every single game. It's not something that really wavers that far for him, but really struggled in this matchup. He had 3 turnovers the first time they played, even with a dramatic blowout. I think it's going to be a closer game this time around. And again, this guy is just, Mr. Butterfingers. So consistent. 1.5, way too low, especially for the payout we're getting too. When I posted this earlier, he was at minus 139.
I like it. Big Joe. Fumble that ball a couple of times for us, Big Joe.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna get back here on the path of things. Joey B, 1.5 turnovers.
Nice. And you guys aren't shady. You guys hit 5 likes since he talked about that one play. That's what I like to see, guys. We're up to 15 now. E. Oh shit.
Love it. Love y'all. Love this. Amazing.
Yeah. Hey, I was talking to E. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. He doesn't know I'm going to tell you this, but I was talking to him the other day. I think Coach was talking too, and we were talking about, damn, E, man, you be going on in streams a lot and doing this, and you're always hyped to do it and stuff because you said I love this. Like, bro, you actually love doing this. That's what's so fun about it. Some people are like, I don't know. You're like, let's go, let's stream. You're like excited. I like it. Makes it fun.
Well, that's the cool thing about, fantasy and prop betting is every day is a new experience, and every day it can go good or bad, but you can always find something new, and just, it's fun. It's a whole different beast in itself, It
is. It's a mind fuck too. And if you can't figure out your brain, you're not going to win. But it's so fun when you do win, right? It's like you feel accomplished, and you can keep learning too. There's always so many new things, new props, new games, new matchups. You can only, we were talking about it too. If you get an L, you learn from it. You just keep getting better.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. Because once you get really, really good, there's money to be made for real.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get a couple questions I see in the chat. We'll talk about them real fast, and then we'll move on to our third play.
Big Clayton fantasy, eh?
Yeah, so this was honestly one that I looked at earlier for a couple reasons too. Not in love with it. It is Georgia, and they are pretty solid, especially at home overall. But a couple of things for him that look pretty well. One was if you have, at least on Prizepicks, so I'll say Underdog, all their fantasy lines are inflated today. There was literally like one discrepancy as far as like value. So Prizepicks actually has the better value today overall, at least for the fantasy lines. I noticed that earlier, but he's at 28.5 on Prizepicks, or at least he was earlier. Yeah, so he's 28.5 here. He is 32.5, I believe, on Underdog. Yeah, or 30.5 still. 2-point tax there. So shop on Prizepicks if you're going to get him. He's been somebody who's been really consistent so far this season on the road. I mean, he's averaging closer to 30, almost 35 fantasy, but at least on a safe floor. I mean, he's been 31.6, so over 30 in most of the games on the road. I know this one terrible matchup against Tennessee, they were held to just 44 total team points, which is pretty wild in itself. But Arkansas also makes sense. They've been really solid on the defense. I don't mind it. The only thing really we're kind of sweating here for him is, can he land his threes which he's been 50-50 on that on the road. Cool thing about him on the road though is either he's hitting 2 or he's hitting 4. So he's either getting 6 or 12 points, and that's a pretty big difference. So you are playing a bit of a Russian roulette with that, but I do like the steal upside that he has in this particular matchup. He had 5 steals against them in that first game that they played, so I think let's temper the expectations a little bit there. He's not getting 5 again, but at least, 335th steals allowed, that's a lot. So I'm looking for at least 2 steals here, maybe a third one in the mix as well. The block upside is a little marginal, but I don't mind the fantasy, man, at all. He's been pretty solid as far as overall consistency on the season has been pretty good, 58%. But the road splits, 75%, that looked pretty solid. So I wouldn't fault you there.
Dope. And then, so now we've been looking at fantasy back and forth. Is Prizepicks have the lower fantasy every single time?
Not every single time. So what Underdog did today is they were holding back on their fantasy lines for a majority of the games, and they actually didn't drop them like they normally would to start the day. So Prizepicks opened with theirs, and then Underdog posted theirs 2 hours ago, give or take.
Okay. But it seems like every time
Usually
we look at
it's the
fantasy,
reverse.
what's that?
I was saying usually it's the reverse. Underdog will open the day with it, and then Prizepicks will adjust their lines.
Oh, I meant like not timing, but how many fantasy points they have for players. Like it seems like there's been big discrepancies this year with the college stuff. More than I noticed for pro NBA. Like 2 points difference is a big difference, but that seems to be happening a lot, if not 4 points and shit like that.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, for earlier last month, there was at least a solid 2 weeks where we were just finding them almost daily.
Yeah, that's crazy. So anything that actually brings us to the next question. E2 says, any fantasy score leans? Do you have a certain lean of a fantasy player today that you like more than anyone else that maybe we could throw in with the taco, considering Prizepicks seems to have the better fantasy lines?
Yeah, I had a couple of fantasy plays that looked pretty solid. Still on the fence about. So let's talk about one that I felt really strong. I'm honestly debating on posting for official plays, but it's gonna be Mark Mitchell, his 24.5 fantasy. A couple things with him. One, Underdog, they have him at 26 and some change, so we're getting a nice little discount there. But 2, he's somebody who is just, this is a really discounted line. He averages 29 fantasy at home on the season, and just in general on the season, he's averaging closer to 26, almost 27 fantasy. So it's a very favorable line. I get it. It is, it's not the greatest matchup, but it's definitely not a scary one. Projected to be somewhat of a close game. I think it was a 10.5 point spread, but he's going up against CMB, and I think that's one of the biggest appealing factors is there is going to be a crazy amount of block upside, which he does really well, 353rd blocks allowed, but also steal upside, something he also thrives in. So I think for him, he could potentially have a 3 to 4 stock game, no problem. Wouldn't be shocked at all. We know CMB is a high usage guy. He's going to take a ton of shots down low. He turns the ball over quite a bit on the road. Excuse me. But another player who just has really, really favorable home splits. So they're going to be at the house, and I'm just really shocked they left his line here. The last game he was on the road against Arkansas, which we know they're pretty good on defense. He ended the game with 23.9, I believe. So he literally just barely misses. But take a look at all these fantasy lines that he plays at the house. Majority of them are over 30 or 29 or better. So I think all those things moving in that direction, it looked really, really good. I'm still on the fence about posting it, but I do think that Prizepicks could totally bump him. So this 24.5 was going to be one for us today.
All right. What's the taco at the moment? I know you're hating tacos these days, but just out of curiosity, do you know? Yeah, let's see. Because every once in a while, there's something that's actually a decent play.
Well, second taco is almost 90% always the hockey taco, and I would say this one has still been the most consistent one that Prizepicks has had. So Man, there's only 28 minutes left on that. That's crazy. I'm gonna
It
actually
does.
have to play
It
this.
does. Yeah, it does seem like the hockey ones do better.
Um, the other one fantasy line that I was looking at, I believe, which was it's for Chucky Hepburn, and I think this was the one that they actually had slightly discounted on Underdog. He's like 30.35. Yeah. So tiny little bit of a discount here. Tomato, as far as like if he gets that 0.5 or over. But Chucky, let's talk about him real fast. So someone who's just been a beast on the road this season. Now he does come with some turnover downside. That's something that we know of with him by and large. But he's been a steal machine on the road, being just a total menace as far as causing turnovers. We know that he's a really solid playmaker, even though it has dropped off a little bit over the last couple of games. But he was coming back from injury, had some teammates out too, so a bit muddy in the water. But it's a great assist matchup. It is a pretty solid 3-point matchup, which he's been doing really solid at. But again, the guy's just, a steal fiend for the season. So I think the 30 and a half, 30.35, whichever, or really solid, 69% so far on the season as a whole, and then 80% in the road games. And one of them, he only missed out from a massive blowout. It's a 30-point blowout. And the other one was a 20-point blowout against Virginia, which I believe, he just stopped shooting down the stretch. So almost got there still in that matchup. If the game is even remotely close with him being on the road, he's going to crush this line.
Big Chucky. I like Big Chucky.
Chucky gonna chuck.
He's been coming through whenever we do have him on the list, no matter what it is, turnovers or who knows, maybe the fantasy. Shootball says, and what's going on, dude? He says, I usually wait for both to post fantasy to see who has the better edge. Yeah, I'm interested in that. If it's Prizepicks more often than not with the better line. So on Tuesdays, play them with the tacos, possibly, if they're good, decent fantasy plays. Youngin says Garcia over fantasy. See y'all in June. Well, hey, we're seeing you today at least on here, so maybe we'll see you before June, at least on here. That'd be nice. Come through if you're allowed somehow. I don't know, but shit, you're here today, so shoot. But he says Garcia over fantasy, and then Q Donkey's somewhat in agreement. He says he likes Garcia's PR. Low key been a wagon for him.
Yeah, Garcia's definitely a better target at home. He was getting trapped this game against Illinois, and they ended up getting, smacked down by 20 plus. But he oh, excuse me. He's a player traditionally that we do like to target at home. My only big red flag about him and or props in this game in general is the 129 game total. It's like one of the lowest on the slates, period, even with the mid-tier teams playing. A bit of a red flag there. Both of these teams are playing at an absolute snail pace. He's just going to have to be efficient, man. It's honestly just going to come down to the scoring. Can he be efficient at that? Will he actually be taking the shots? Home games look a lot better for that, but we do get somewhat of a drop-off. He dipped off the last two games, so it's not a discounted line. He should be at 18.5 with him missing 2 games in a row. So they are kind of being a bit sneaky about that. If you can find the 18.5, I would prefer that a little bit more, but just err on a little bit of caution here. A little bit of caution. 129 total is something of note.
Yeah, and teams, if they decide to double him, man, it's gonna be tough for him to get that line. He is a beast, but it feels like teams have been figuring out how to play against them, and they've been shutting him down. That one game he came through with a 32, but for the most part, he's had 15 points or less in a lot of the games, more than you would think, because he was a low-key wagon for like 2 months, but the last month's been a little scarier.
Yeah, and he's going to be going up against Big Martinelli, too, who's definitely not a bad defender. He is a low foul guy, so I would not expect many trips to the free throw line in particular. At best, if he's getting some crossovers with Matthew Nicholson, then maybe, but even him, still a pretty low foul guy. So With Dawson, you're really banking on the steals. So I think the steals has a lot of potential, meat on the bone there because Martinelli could totally turn it over, 3 to 5 to 6 times. Wouldn't be shocked there at all. But we're going to need him to be super efficient, and he's going to have to get stocks. He has to get stocks. There's no way he's scoring a bunch or he's getting that fantasy without some kind of steals or broken plays.
I don't like betting on him anymore, to be honest. I like betting his unders just to cheer for him to do bad. I don't like watching him and wanting him to do good. It's something about it. It's not cool. Is it his hair? I don't know what it is. Something about it, bro. I don't want to cheer for him. I don't know. Hey, might be my personal issue. But Ayo's here.
He was good for us, during that stretch. But we're talking about a player who's come up from 14.5 points to consistently being 18.5 plus. It's pretty high.
Yeah, 19.5 and shit. 20 and shit. Yeah, it's just a little much. Ayo, what's up, bro? Ayo says just cash. Shootball says Edgecombe 24.5 fantasy. I know you liked Edgecomb's RA there. What do you think about adding more to it for the fantasy?
Yeah, so let's talk about VJ here real fast. There's a couple things with him, albeit I think by and large I don't mind the fantasy. The RA, he is yet to miss on the road this season. So biggest reason why I'd love to see that. But also, we were taking a look at his minutes and his game logs since coming back from both these different injuries. If we go all the way back to December 9th, after he came back from this one-game absence, he's played 30-plus minutes in all but 4 games. In 2 out of the games, they were a blowout. 1 game, he got into foul trouble, and the other game was this one right here after coming back from injury where he did not play 30 minutes. So in these 18 games here, 14 out of the 18, he has played 30-plus minutes, and that's really been the kind of marquee, sweet spot for him, so to speak, is we need him to play 30-plus minutes, and all of his props are really attainable. So the only reason why I wasn't quite so high on the scoring upside is he is a very, very streaky shooter on the road. And I mean very, very streaky shooter. Some games, we're talking single-digit scoring here in a few of them. Some games obviously crush, BYU, Utah, all that stuff. But this has been a really big back and forth. And another thing, too, the turnovers, because, oh, my God, I'm going to scream if he has another 5-turnover game and I take his fantasy. So, personally, I can't do it, man. He's just driving me crazy with the turnovers here on the road. The blocks and the steals can carry a lot of weight. So, honestly, I get that. But this dude comes with turnover downside risk and potential, just lack of shooting. It's not even the lack of scoring. He just doesn't shoot the ball. So, there is some risk with that. The fantasy, I don't mind that. I think it's also still a really solid look. But either or, fantasy or the RA, I wouldn't bank on the straight up scoring, but also the fantasy comes with some turnover downside. So just keep that in mind.
All right. Will G and Shootball both are liking Big VJ, and I can tell, and I would assume just from reading their comments, his fantasy on Prizepicks is better than on Underdog, I'm assuming. Right?
I don't even think Underdog offered him.
Oh, 24.5 does sound low for him. I feel you on the turnovers. It's almost like that's what it is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so they actually have him at 28.5. It's just dropped.
Yeah. I think I feel you on that turnover thing. Because Shootball says also he hit 92% of the season, though. I think they're feeling VJ's potential, man. I know Cincinnati's not the best matchup. They're so damn slow. But like you said, if he gets those minutes, man, I think his lines are a little low. I know those turnovers, though. But fuck. If he can just not have 5 turnovers, he'll get there.
Well, it's the scoring too. So you can see this is a high line for him. 48% on the season. This is not something that he's clearing with consistency. He's doing it more, yes, over the last month and a half, almost 2 months now, but it's still an adjusted line. So this portion of the fantasy is not the free part. And we're also walking into the turnover downside that he clearly suffers on the road. So I still like it. I think it's a phenomenal line. And honestly, that's something that is going to get bumped. So maybe Are you feeling maybe throwing this in with
Yeah.
the taco?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because whatever best value we can find, we know the taco. I mean, tacos are annoying as fuck. But the hockey ones seem to hit more than they don't. So why not throw a good value play in with it? And, I don't think it can hurt.
Yeah. And just while I 100% get the reasoning, 92% on the season makes total sense. Just the games that he has missed, were the closer ones on the road. So yeah, the fantasy or the RA, I mean, honestly looked pretty solid. I think let's go ahead and lock in this for that second taco though.
Yeah. Will G and shoot ball. It came through with it. They said VJ Fantasy. We looked at it. You look through. You say, you know what? It's not bad. I like it. Thanks, guys, for coming up with different plays and throwing out your ideas. That's what we like to do. Come up with plays as a group.
For sure, man. Yeah, it's crazy they have his blocks and steals. So really, it's the blocks and the steals. I mean, you can see there's no way he should be at 0.5 steals. That's kind of crazy. But the blocks aren't even an option up there yet, and I imagine those probably look. Yeah, I mean he's averaging 0.7 blocks on the season, so he should be realistically closer to 3 stocks a game. Yeah, I mean it's just these turnovers. Oh my goodness, please stop turning the ball over.
PTSD. Hugh Donkey says, "Are you guys watching the Lakers Mavs tonight?"
Nope.
Damn, E.
Could care less.
Damn, E. How you really feel, E? Jeez.
It's Tuesday, man. No, I mean it'll be exciting to see in all this, but I'm at the point of like I'm just ready for postseason NBA. Honestly.
Yeah, the games get boring at this point. I feel you. They don't matter until then. I mean, they do obviously for the seeding and all that, but they don't feel as exciting a lot of times. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how they act with Luka on the Lakers. That's kind of interesting, I must admit. Shootball says those are the line discrepancy edges I was talking about. It's a play. Just thought I'd throw it out there. No, appreciate it. That's what's up. I really like figuring out or finding out or seeing why the fuck does Prizepicks have lower fantasy for the most part. I don't think I've seen one time when it's been way off and it's been Underdog has the lower one, which is interesting.
All right. Well, yes, much appreciated on that shout out for the line. I was looking on Underdog earlier today, so I didn't even notice that one standing out on Prizepicks, but yes, that is going to be a sharp call there. So we're going to lock that in with the Sam Monta, I'm going to block some fucks guy. 21.5 saves.
Oh, that was a really good pronunciation of his name. I see you posted it in the play channel. Nice. Okay, cool. Alrighty.
We'll add it to the list here. Look at that. Update in real time.
Big time, real time. VJ. I like VJ. He's good. He hasn't shitted on got worse and worse as the season went like Ace Bailey. He's actually been consistently just getting a little bit better, it seems like, the whole year. I like that. Good head on his shoulders, it seems.
Well, he was just a player that we would get right, and then we kept getting him wrong a couple games because the coach wouldn't play him for normal minutes, and those were just the random road games that he wasn't shooting the ball a lot, and then the coach would bench him, just randomly down the stretch. So he was playing under 30 minutes for a lot of that, and his lines were just kind of, up and down. But since he came back, like I said, 18 games now, I mean, coach has played him almost 30-plus minutes basically every single night, and for him, if it's even remotely a competitive game, he should be in there for 32 to 34 minutes, and that's like a smash for all of his props.
Okay. I'm with it.
I like it. We don't play on Prizepicks a whole lot, but that's a good one. Nice call there, shoot ball.
Yeah, man. I gotta put it in. I can only log in on my phone to do it, so I better do it now before I forget. so we can cheer for VJ's fantasy. And when he gets that 6th turnover with 3 seconds left in the game, E goes dark till tomorrow. Think through the worst.
Nah.
What's the worst that could happen? And then I go, it's not that bad. It's kind of fun. So here we go.
Well, I mean, worst case scenarios, he's not shooting and he has a lot of turnovers, but I'm hoping some of that has to be a positive regression. So on worst case, maybe he gets 3 turnovers, but maybe he gets like 3 stocks.
Let's go, VJ. Show us why you're the 4th pick in the draft. He wants to pass ace with this game. He wants to be 3rd.
I see we had a question about Big Jizzle.
Oh yeah, Big Jizz.
If you got to that one from old D. All right.
Yeah.
He's definitely an adjusted line.
Sorry, go ahead.
You see him. You see him in the chats, right?
I saw it, and then now I can't find it for some reason. That was a good joint, guys. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, old D. What's up?
Yeah, man. James has been something else. I know he did crap on us this game where we took him at the PA line. He came up just short of that, but I mean, he's out there ripping, dude. With Lucas being out, that's really been his forte, is just shooting his 3 a lot. But it looks like Lucas Big Seamus is a game time decision again. Let's see.
Is it weird that one of their players' name is Seamus and then the other dude's name is Jizzle?
Yeah, very
weird.
hodgepodge name.
It's weird. It's weird, bro.
I wouldn't mind the points again, assuming that Seamus is still out. If he, for whatever reason, suits up and plays, and I would not play that. But assuming he's still out, I think the points, the PRA, both of those still very live for him. The only thing about James, man, is he's got to stop the second half fouling. That's something he keeps opening the half with, and got a little scary this last game. I'm almost curious if you waited just a little bit longer, could you get him back to 14.5? Because it looks like the juice is running back the other way from 15.5. If you give this just a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised to see this come up to closer to like a 0.9, or even just being able to get him outright at 14.5 points. So if you like it, maybe hang around for another hour, see if that line moves.
Big Jizzle. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, as you were talking about that, I was trying to get on this Prizepicks taco play, and I forgot I get $5. So yay, I'm in for 5. Woohoo! Fucking bastards. Robert Page, what's up, man? Robert Page says, how many fantasy points is Tanjay getting today?
Man, it just depends on how many points this guy's going to go out and drop.
Man,
I mean,
he's
been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah. So a couple things with him. The turnovers are pretty appropriate. I would pencil him down for at least 2 a game. The steals, very suspect, which honestly, now that I'm looking at this, I might even consider, 1.5 steals. His payout's probably going to be crap for that. 0.77. He's a very, very low steal guy. So they do have that kind of baked in there. The blocks aren't bad. The thing with him is the assists kind of back and forth. I like what I've seen over the last month. But a lot of it, honestly, is just going to come off his scoring. If he's dropping 20 plus, I think you're going to get there scot-free. But if he's going out dropping less than that, then I don't know, man. The fantasy is a tough line to go after for him. Usually the best one's going to be the PR. He's been rebounding like crazy, and it's more of an appropriate line because they're not putting the tax on it.
Okay. Good call. So pass on fantasy if you're liking him. PR is better. What's up?
Yeah, honestly, I think they beat the absolute brakes off of them in this game. I do not see this game staying close.
Okay. He said, I took the over on 29.5. I hope that hits. Powered it with Damian Collins 4 rebounds and assists, which seemed like a mistake because they also have him at 4 rebounds. Yeah, he might get 0 assists is what they're saying to you, I guess. Poor Damian.
It's possible, yeah.
All right, well, good luck, Robert, with that.
I definitely worry about this game in particular staying close. I like Tanji, man. I'll be honest. I played the PR in a personal slip just because the dude's been a wagon, but I do worry this game could be a bloodbath.
Ouch. Okay.
All right. So I think we covered all the props and the plays that we had on here. Let's talk about just a couple of mid-tier plays that I did feel pretty strong about, and we'll kind of explain to you guys what's up. But let's talk about Stevie Mitchell. They got him at 1.5 steals, and man, this guy's just been an absolute monster. So at the house, he's been averaging closer to 3 steals a game, which is pretty crazy for, anybody at the college level. But he's their best and one of star defensive players just in general. And he's going to be going up against Bensley Joseph on the other side, who is a high usage guy. He does a lot of facilitating, a lot of shooting. And the first game, he also had 3 steals against him. So good success so far this season. Just an insane hit rating. 87% so far at home, and then 70% across the board on the season. Yeah, y'all know I like me some Big Stevie. He's been a lockdown machine, and not the best payout. It is minus 216, so you're going to have to parlay it with something. But one that I definitely wanted to shout out because of this matchup and the home splits.
Nice. I like those ones. They're fun. Minus 216 can get out of my life, but if you can find it on a book, right? Like find it on Fliff. Maybe there's a money line to throw with that. I don't know what's today. There wasn't that many crazy good money line feels today, was there?
No, there's a couple pretty obvious ones, but if we're talking closer stuff, like I think I'd give Alabama the win here. They're going to be out for blood in this rematch game, and I don't expect it to be quite as insanely high scoring as it was the first time, but Alabama at the house, super dangerous. I think this line for Illinois is very generous. Double-digit spread.
I agree.
Minus 600.
Yeah, I like that one. I like Alabama too. I feel you on both those. Those are good ones to put with plays like that. They actually they're giving us a decent payout for that. The chances of those two teams winning are very high, and you put those with that Stevie steal prop. It feels like you're getting that steal prop at a really good price.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think you can lose with that. That's that value. Old D says you were right about Jizzle James. He just dropped to 14.5. There you go.
Oh, right on cue.
You might know a few things off and on. Not many, but
Hey.
every now and then.
You be around these books long enough, and you start seeing line movement like that, especially right up, an hour and a half outside of locks. That's when stuff will really start moving.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about him. We talked about Mitchell. Okay, one last play that I wanted to talk about today was Big Nelly. They got Nelly at 23.5 PRA again, and although the fantasy I thought was interesting, it's very adjusted still. 31.5 is kind of high. Hit rating definitely a lot worse, but the PRA being at 23.5 is very generous. Normally he's been at 24.5 easy. He was actually 25.5 2 games ago. Very consistent so far of the season. He's been the road warrior, and the only 2 games that he missed, he had 21 PRA in both of them. It was against St. John's, makes total sense, and then Colorado State makes total sense. And both were road games. So obviously they're road games. We're talking about road games, but really difficult opponent. Top 50 opponents, both of them. This one, not the best, but still, I think a very doable matchup for them. Really, for the team, it's just can they keep the game close so he can go out and play his normal minutes. He's played 30 plus in a majority of the games, and even the games where he didn't, he still was able to get there. But felt like a pretty favorable line. He's been consistent, 78% on the season. Something at least for the honorable mentions.
Big Nelly. Remember when Nelly used to have a Band-Aid underneath his eye? Is that a Band-Aid he used to have? So weird.
Repping for the bro.
I guess, man. Anyways, Big Nelly. Okay, cool. Nelly has been balling. That's really real.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we got an hour before the first tip. We got a lot of games. We really probably find a few more props here that feel good now that they've dropped more lines and lines are moving.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually about one more, and we can just do it here on so
Mhm.
everyone can see it. But one that was definitely a very popular play on Prize Picks, so something to consider, the old spooky voodoo. But
Right.
Big Ziegler, they got him at 30.5 fantasy line. I mean, dude's just been crushing it. Something that did look really appealing. So, I mean, I don't think it is a bad play. The road splits could be a little bit better for him. Um, LSU is not a bad team by any means. They're not the greatest on defense. They just play a little bit slow. But 30 fantasy, man, I think this is still right there on the line for him.
Big Ziegs. He's been good to us. Legacy, that was the word I was looking for earlier. Legacy covers. C-Dot said, did
Bro,
you
he's
know?
been playing.
Yeah. No, he's been doing great. Better, and his lines were low because Chaz was doing everything before, and now they're kind of... I don't know if their teams are double teaming old Chaz, and then they got to get the ball to Ziegs, but he's definitely been more... I don't know. He's been attacking the basket more than he was before. C-Dot said, did you know Jizzle James is the son of Edgerrin James? I did. Hey, Edgerrin James was on my fantasy team, C-Dot, my dynasty team for like 10 years. I know all about old Edgerrin James. He's the man. His son, I don't know. His name's Jizzle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey, his son's been trying to take over the last couple of games, so definitely some talent in that bloodline.
You know what we're going to name him? Jizzle.
Big Jizzle.
Why do you want to name him Jizzle? I just do. Okay. You're Edgerrin James. Whatever you want. Jizzle, it is. I love it. Fuck yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, I think it's about time. Looks like we're creeping up on the top of the hour here. So, here, let me look and see if we got any last minute news.
You know you're betting on Cooper Flag, E. You're going to get off the stream and put all your money on Coop. Don't even lie.
No, not at all.
Oh.
That is actually a game of injuries, though. So keeping out for Matthew Cleveland. I mean, I don't think that Miami has any kind of shot here to begin with, but they have actually no shot again if Cleveland sits. I mean, he's been their number one offensive weapon. But if he sits, I think that opens up a lot more opportunity for Big Nipples on the other side.
Wow.
Streaky shooter, but he's been able to do his thing the last couple games. Massive blowout, though. Cleveland gets ruled out. This could be closer to like a 30-point spread.
Personally, if your name was Knipple, that's how they pronounce it, Knipple on the when you're watching the games. Why wouldn't it's not even spelled like that? Like if you look at it, it's not spelled nipple at all. Why wouldn't you just be like, look, my name is not Nipple, my name is Noople, or whatever it looks like? Why would you go through life just being like, yeah, my name's Knipple? Why? You could change it so easy.
Hey. Right. I mean, hey. He's just embracing his knipples.
That's gangster as fuck, bro. If I was a kid and people called me Knipple, bro, I would not even... I'd be like, Mom, can we change the name? I'm getting made fun of so much. Just like Jizzle. C-Dot says, you had me until you said it was a popular play on Prize Picks. Yeah. The curse.
At least it's the lesser of his popular lines. Looks like everyone's on the 14.5 points. But the fantasy, I think the fantasy is interesting. It's just weird though, man, because all the sites, they already bumped his PA up to 22.5, and then the points pretty well are holding fast at 14.5. But the PA was bumped, the fantasy was bumped, and they're just leaving them there. So it's kind of interesting. You know, Prize Picks be up to their ways with that. They know shit sometimes.
They really do. Prize Picks the smartest dudes there is. Everyone says Pinnacle for books, Prize Picks for fantasy sites, for sure. Not even close. They know how to fuck you. They will kill you and stomp on you and laugh at you and say, here, want another taco?
Indeed. Oh, real fast, before we get out of here, we're still looking for news in this Iowa State game. We got both Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert game time decision. They did sit last game, and I'm still kicking myself for not posting Lipsy as soon as we got that news last game. I think he only ended the game with 11 or 12 points or something like that, but still, it was a tougher matchup. But if these guys are out again, I would look for Lipsy, his scoring, PRA upside. And then Big Milan, he did a lot of the heavy lifting last game too. So keep an eye out for this game. It's a good matchup. Oklahoma State is not playing defense.
Right. All right, sounds good. Let's get off. Find some more plays before this tip.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all as usual hanging out with us during the afternoon and evening times. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Don't forget to be subscribed and in the Discord. That's where we're going to right after this. So appreciate you guys. We'll catch you back here tomorrow. Good luck tonight. Peace.